For today's creature feature, we come to Fort Myers, Florida. 38 years ago, Fort Myers suffered one of the darkest days of horror the world has ever known. And today, the dead shall walk again. Speaking of the dead, they're still here. First, there was Night of the Living Dead, then Dawn of the Dead, and now Day of the Dead. This is my copy, my recent copy of Day of the Dead I picked up at Tampa Bay Screams Horror Convention a few months ago. You've got Bub, the iconic zombie from the film. He's the most famous character in all of George A. Romero's Day of the Dead. Did you know he was supposed to represent blue-collar Americans? He is a blue tint zombie with a collar on. Bub. The dead walk. Hello, I am Jay of the Dead. No, that's not my name. I'm Tampa Jay. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if it's your first time. I love me some zombies. Day of the Dead, George A. Romero's third zombie classic. The last time we were hunting down filming locations for a Romero flick, we were in Pittsburgh, actually the Monroeville Mall, the filming location to Dawn of the Dead 1978, which was George's second film. Again, this is the third. First there was the Night of the Living Dead, then the Dawn, and now Day of the Dead, as it's written right there on my copy of the VHS cover. Oh wow, how do I set this up? Okay, here we go. All right, so a couple years ago, I was down here and I shared a couple of these locations, Day of the Dead, filmed right here in Fort Myers, the day scenes, October 1984, movie released in 1985. The interior scenes, the missile silo scenes, they were not filmed here in Florida, they were filmed up in Pennsylvania, so we will not be showing you those locations today, just the Florida locations. I was here a couple years ago and I tipped my hat and gave credit where credit was due. Shout out to Adam the Woo, my good buddy, my good friend. He was the first one ever to come out here and document on video the locations to Day of the Dead way back when YouTube started. So we always got to give credit where credit is due, so go check out that video. After this one, if you'd like to see the transitioning of the then and now filming locations to this classic zombie flick. We begin here on top of this parking garage, a good vantage point of many of the locations. I can see one right there actually down the street. We'll get there when we get there, but had to set this up properly. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're a fan of this film, of zombie movies, of horror, I hope you enjoy it. There's quite a few things to see. I hope I show you some things along the way. I hope you enjoy it. There's much ahead. Oh yeah. The opening shot came from the helicopter, and it was in this region right here. I'm actually on top of a parking garage. You would have to be up a few hundred more feet, but you can definitely make out this building, also this tower, and all of these buildings, especially the water out there, as the helicopters coming into frame and about to land right here in downtown Fort Myers. This radio tower on top of the building can be seen many times throughout Day of the Dead. Keep it in mind, you might see it several times throughout this video. It'll give you some perspective for the locations. And from this vantage point, you can look right down Main Street and see the intersection of Hendry and Main Street. The old theater, the Edison Theater, is that purple building on the corner. That is a filming location. Also the building with the two columns and the clock, you can make that out in the film. Not from this angle. I just wanted to show you that over here on Hendry Street, specifically this building right here, can be seen from a shot of the camera shooting down Hendry this way towards Hendry and Main. There's a shot of the zombies. I'll put it in the frame. Now this is not the angle, but I just wanted to show you the location. There's a famous shot of the camera shooting down Hendry Street that way, and you can make out these buildings. And now I've come down to the street level of that last shot I shared from the top of the parking garage, looking down Hendry Street. Here's the building. Again, the camera would have been way up there, and that is the corner that you see in the shot of Hendry Street, right up there. So the camera would have been way up above my head, shooting down this way to get the shot that you see in the lower right-hand corner. There you go, zoomed in on that corner. Again, a screenshot from Day of the Dead. Down to the right, I'm really breaking down the detail here, as I always love to do, so you can see the angle. So it looks to me they were filming from the top of the Rob and Stuckey Company building here. Right up there from the corner, they were shooting out, because you can make out that right there. That's what I'm thinking now. I don't even know if they were on a crane. They perhaps were filming from that building right there and shooting this way for that shot. And so many freaking zombie extras right out here on the corner of Hendry and Main. So zombies were walking all around me right now, down Hendry Street, right past the intersection of Main and Hendry. Ooh, all the way around here. I got the screenshot again, or maybe right here. I don't know where I put it. This is where the dead walked during the day. I'm gonna be dead if I don't move. Car. Made it. There's a shot of the zombies walking right here on the sidewalk this way, past the Richards building. I just discovered it. I can tell because of the two pillars you'll see in the next shot. Let's get a little closer. And it's right here. The brick and the white trim there on the lower left, that was my clue. Also the windows behind. There's the screenshot down in the lower right hand corner. The zombies walking right here. And that makes sense because the next frame, the next shot is from that location, from that shot I showed you from up above just before. So the zombies were walking right here. In the movie, there were signs on these brick columns as well. They're a little different, but the same shape. They were red in the movie. Those are a big identifier right there. So there you go. A horde of zombies right here at the Richards building. Again, the classic clock tower building seen in the movie, and the Edison Theater. Check out this Art Deco. Edison, Thomas Edison, famous resident here in Fort Myers, if you didn't know. I think they named the theater after him, if I had to guess. I say that's a safe bet. This is classic, isn't it? One of the coolest shots, zombie shots of the entire film, right over here in front of this theater. So you see the Edison twice in the movie. The first time you see it, without the zombies, you actually see George A. Romero's name on screen when they're doing the credits, written, directed by George A. Romero. And the shot came low from the curb. Both times you see the Edison in the movie. Check it out. Here's the shot I'm talking about right there, almost in the same angle. And then the second time you see it, I'll probably recreate this one just because it's so cool. You see the zombie walking out from the theater. The Dead J. There you go, right there. Kind of walks in front of the eye. I don't know if I'm lined up all right. There you go. If you take a screenshot, it'll last longer. This is one of the coolest shots. Awesome to recreate it. Do I look like a zombie? Sure do feel dead in this heat. It's hot. And there's a shot of a zombie grabbing a roll of tickets in the former ticket booth here at the Edison. And there would have been a ticket booth right here in the center where you see the zombie's hand come up on the ticket booth counter and grab the red roll of tickets. And then he kind of slams the glass. You can make out the doors of the theater in the background in that shot. The ticket booth, long gone. Not here anymore. And I'm furthering down Hendry Street to the next corner down here, to the next couple of filming locations. Just want to show you that the tower is lurking. The tower from Day of the Dead right there, the radio tower. And right here halfway down the block at 1519 Hendry, this doorway right here is where you see the newspaper blow up that titles The Dead Walk, right there in the doorway. Now it looks totally different. I'm going to show you some clues to show you how I matched it up, but specifically this building right here, the bank, which is another filming location, this window and this doorway all adds up. So I've got the shot into frame. Notice the red car is crashed into the curb. Out beyond the hood of the car, there's a doorway, a bunch of trash piled in. In the next frame, you see the newspaper blow up into that doorway amongst that trash and land right there in that doorway. This doorway we're looking at today, the Dead Walk. That's where you see the close-up of the newspaper, right there in that door here on Hendry Street. We're gonna get a little closer. Yeah, here you go, the doorway. There was a bunch of trash piled right in the corner. I thought it was an alleyway, but this is exactly the spot that you see the newspaper. Yeah, look at that. That is the same door, by the way. It's just painted red. the dead walk on the trash can that was right there. How many times have I seen that newspaper at a horror convention the past few years? A lot of vendors selling that. That's amazing. So cool. This is where they set all those barrels of trash. That yellow box, the Dead Walk newspaper location. Also, the tile is the same. You can make out the tile then and now. That is sick. There's a rainbow there. That's adorable. And just turned around real quick to show you. I can understand why they filmed a movie here. I think the last time I was here, I mentioned that downtown Fort Myers reminds me of a lot of downtown DeLand, Florida, up in north central Florida. And right up the corner, First and Henry Street, the next location. This is one of my faves. I showed this the last time I was here. The old First National Bank, which can be seen twice in the opening of Day of the Dead. The most famous shot, and this is when we knew it was Florida. Two zombies coming out this door right here down the steps with an alligator. They used a real alligator in this film. He actually went right down this way, kind of flopped on his belly, and two zombies followed. Right there. I love that shot. It's amazing. So Florida. I'll show you the screenshot, but I came across just so you could see it, put it in perspective. The theater, the Edison Theater sign right down there. Also the doorway I just showed you with the newspaper right behind the bank. The building just behind the bank. All so close to each other. Oh my gosh. Ah, it's hot out here. The heat index is like 105. I just put my knee down. Ooh, that burnt. Ooh. At least I brought back the smell of dead flesh to Fort Myers once again. Just recreating the shot here with the alligator. There was no fence there in the center of the steps. That was long gone, but you can definitely make out the stonework, the steps, and the same door then and now. Again, those two zombies following the alligator. Most of the locations I'm showing downtown were showed twice. Once during the credits with no zombies, and once with zombies. Once they summoned the zombies after screaming hello in the megaphone, that's when they kind of recreated all the same shots. I think how they did that was they filmed the same day and they showed the credit shots, and then they brought the zombies in, of course, and they started rolling speed again. So I'm pretty sure they shot most of this in one day down here in Fort Myers, 1 or 2 days. We've got this crew of zombies coming off the sidewalk here from the bank at First and Henry. You can actually make out the Edison marquee sign then and now in the background, way back there, also in the screenshot. Yeah, they were stepping right off this corner here into the intersection. And the first time you see the bank, you actually see the top, First National Bank, in the opening credits. I'm recreating the camera. It actually pans down just like this. And you see the steps and all of the cash from the bank, all of the dollars just sweep on by. And then we'll get there. We're kind of working our way a little backwards, but the movie actually began, the helicopter landed out in that area, and that's when you first see the helicopter crew walk down into downtown Fort Myers this way down Henry Street. So yeah, we're kind of working backwards, but we're gonna get all the locations. And 1 block up from First and Henry, here at Jackson and First, we've got the Sidney and Byrne Art Center. You got to put this in the movie. It's awesome, isn't it? And if you've seen Day of the Dead, you recognize it right away. And before we cross the street and head to the art center and match up the next location, check it out. There's the tower once again. Parking garage where we started, right over there. You can actually see it, just to put things into perspective. And right here, I'll put the shot into frame in just a second. Similar angle, the camera would have been down this way. One of the most epic shots of Day of the Dead right here. These historic looking columns. So amazing, isn't it? Good piece of architecture. Great spot for Romero to film a crawling zombie horde right here. I think my zombie walk's getting better. What do you think? No, I don't think they move like that. One of the best opening scenes as far as zombie movies. Right here. Love it. Just to show you what's going on up here, check this out. See this mesh over the windows here? This steel mesh? Well, I'll put the screenshot into frame. This zombie who turns his head, he's wearing the straw hat and he has the Hawaiian shirt on. Very Florida dude. Well, you can make out that mesh right behind his head. It's such a tight shot. But I looked up, I already had this frame into mind. I was gonna hunt for it, but I looked up and saw this mesh, and I was like, there it is. So that was a close-up done right here on the ledge of the art museum, just where we left off. That's pretty cool right there. Put it back into frame there for you. I like that zombie too. Green-eyed zombie with the straw hat and the Hawaiian shirt. Very Florida. And a look back at First and Jackson, historic marker right here. In this vicinity, Calusa Indian villages were located in ancient times around this site. In the Seminole War of 1841 to 1842, a fort was established and named for Lieutenant John Harvey. The fort was reestablished in 1850 and named Fort Myers. A little history for you here. Okay, so there's some other things down around the streets that we were just exploring I have to show you. I will come back though to show you those other scenes, but I'm gonna go try to pinpoint the spot where the helicopter landed at the beginning of the film. Okay, so this is what I concluded for the helicopter landing in the beginning of the film. If they did land the helicopter, it would have been right here near the intersection of Edwards and Jackson, right here amongst the Riverwalk in Fort Myers, the marina. You do see, when the helicopter lands, you do see water, you do see boats behind them. In the next scene, when they actually enter the streets of Fort Myers, they're heading down Hendry. That's when the guy has the megaphone yelling, hello. If you break down the movie, the scene, they kind of walk up that way. Up there is Hendry. So they would have landed in this vicinity and walked up that way and took a left onto Hendry. Okay, you have to use your imagination. You see this grass which I'm standing on? This wasn't here. This was all concrete. They put this median in sometime in the last 30 something years. But they take the corner after they land on the helicopter back that way, as I suspect, and they come around Hendry here. And that's when he is hollering on the megaphone, hello, hello, and he summons all the zombies. Now, when the camera turns, you see the buildings, but that was a fake backdrop. They actually, I don't know if they hung it here or just did it later, but there was actually like a fake facade implanted here down Hendry. I'll put the shot down to the right, but that is a fake downtown area. If you look close, none of the buildings really match up. You didn't see any of those today, but it does fit in well. When I first saw it, I had no idea. I thought it was real. All right, I got low so I could show you. Nothing is the same here, just the corner to the right. Special makeup effects, Tom Savini on the screen as they're taking the corner here on Hendry. That building down straight away, Oxbow, that wasn't there obviously, but this is the corner where the movie begins. Okay, so as I was walking back on Hendry, right here at Bay Street in Hendry, I discovered another location. When you see the helicopter land, here goes an airplane. When you see the helicopter land, you see it swift past the top of this building, this arcade building over here, and also you can make out the tower once again, and these transformers. I'll get a little closer to show you. You can make out all of this when the helicopter lands in the beginning of the movie. It swifts right past here among Bay Street. Okay, this is awesome. This is like an arcade or a theater right here on Bay Street. You see these transformers, 1, 2, 3, and the tower. You can see these are screen used if they haven't been transported or exchanged. You can see these 3 transformers in Day of the Dead. The camera was probably right here on the sidewalk, because look at that. The helicopter out there in the sky, out beyond the transformers, and you can make out the roof of the arcade right there on First Street. And the camera goes like this with the helicopter, goes right past the tower. Right here, I'm recreating the shot from the movie. And then you see this corner of the building and these flagpoles. As the helicopter, oh yes, I really think they landed out there now. As the helicopter lands right over there. Okay, so the helicopter actually makes a tighter turn than I thought. You can make out this pole in the edge of this building just slightly. I paused the screen just right. On the screen it says, and featuring Richard Liberty as Logan and Howard Sherman as the Bub Zombie. Down below where it says Bub, you can make out the edge of this building right here. So the helicopter may have landed more so over there on Hendry Street, right by where the boat was, where they first yelled hello. Okay, so maybe they landed it over there. This is cool. I love breaking it down like this. So many questions. Okay, continuing up Hendry. There's a couple more things I need to find before I leave downtown Fort Myers. Okay, back on Hendry, I found one of the spots I was looking for. Check this out. This pizza shop, Downtown House of Pizza, right here in these windows, specifically the stonework to the left, to the right, the tile is different, but this was a toy store and there was a trash can pushed over here. This is a brief shot in the movie you see of trash right here in front of this doorway. I put the screenshot. You can definitely make out the door, the windows, and also, again, use your imagination, but the stonework of the building. This is the doorway you see in this screenshot here. There also was another light pole, kind of in the same area, different today, but that's right here. This pizza smells good, by the way. Downtown House of Pizza. I'll have to try it sometime. Okay, so I found another location right here, a quick shot. This is the toy store from Day of the Dead, and it is right across the street from the bank and the doorway where you see the newspaper, The Dead Walk. There you go. I'll back out just to show you again. Put it down in the lower right hand corner. There you go. That's the doorway. Much has changed, but that's it. And right here in Hendry in Maine, a shot you see when he's yelling on the megaphone, hello, which would have been way down that way. See the grassy spot down there? That's when they get off the helicopter. And this shot comes from when he's yelling in the megaphone. And there's shots of the fake facade of Fort Myers, the fake part of town, and the real part, which is this frame right here. No more traffic lights in downtown Fort Myers right here, all four-way stops. But you see the Coley Westbrook sign to the left, that building, with everything else down the street as well. That has not changed. Look at that. Also, there was like a crashed Volkswagen Golf to the left, a yellow one, right there to the curve in front of the Coley Westbrook sign. And throughout my search today, I've looked down every alleyway here in downtown Fort Myers trying to find this location. The zombie with a cut off nose and the spider on their elbow. This is a very quick shot, but it's apparent that this was shot in an alleyway. Every alleyway I've looked down or walked down today looks totally different. So this location is unknown. It's probably still here, but just like a couple other ones I'm looking for, I think things have changed so much it's hard to find them. Okay, so I've been walking around downtown Fort Myers for the past hour trying to find two more spots and I can't find them. I think I may have found them, but the buildings have changed so much down here that it's hard to say. But just a couple of quick shots you see of the doors. One has the skeletal remains of a zombie, of a person, and the other is just a storefront. Just a quick shot of that storefront. Can't find that. I think both of those doors are gone. I bet those buildings are here, but they have been changed. And my time is done here as far as Day of the Dead filming locations in downtown Fort Myers. My car right up there. I actually started the video right there on that staircase. We're gonna head to the airport scene now. We gotta go to Sanibel Island. And I thought I was a whole lot closer to Sanibel Island than I actually am. It's almost a 50-minute drive. Whoops. And atop of the bridge that leads to Sanibel Island to the next filming location. Check this out. Gulf of Mexico, straight that way. Bunch of people out on the water having a good time. Okay, so about 5 miles up Sanibel Island, back on this road, way back here, it looks like this property belongs to Lee County Mosquito Control. This is a helicopter pad for mosquito control, and welcome to the location of Day of the Dead. This is where you saw them enter the missile silo. Now, movie magic, it was fake, but also this is where you saw the zombies come at the end of the film and enter the missile silo. They built kind of a dummy door, so you would think that they were going down inside of a missile silo. That was all movie magic. Again, that was filmed back in Pittsburgh, near Pittsburgh. Now I'm looking around. I think this chain link fence is pretty new. I'm gonna guess that the hurricane probably took out the original fence last year. This looks pretty new, but this is the location of those scenes where they were filmed. Yeah, so I'm gonna put some screenshots in the lower right to explain. It would be the reverse angle, but you can definitely see them running down this driveway and the gate behind them towards the helicopter. I believe that's in the same location. That's amazing. There's the gate right there. Okay, yeah. So the helipad is really out here. And there you are. Look at that. I believe it's in the same location. Would have been a reversed angle, but that's the helicopter pad. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so that means if that's the helicopter pad, beyond it, out to the right, that's where they built the fake dummy door down to the missile silo. See if I can go around and show you the spot. Okay, you want to see something cool? So this is the area when you first see the airport, those fellas, those Army fellas walking up to the helipad. They pass a couple of like pumps. Today they're just pipes. That is the same location that those pumps were. Actually, that one and the blue one actually might be the same. This would be the reversed angle. I've got the screenshot into frame, but this is where they were sitting here in this vicinity when they started getting the fuel ready. I think that's the same blue box. The piping's been changed out, but right here beyond the helicopter pad behind that truck, this is where they were sitting. That's amazing. Yeah, so this is it. This is where they were sitting and where the Army dude was growing his yummy plants there. It was right along the line here. They also had like a storage container, kind of like that trailer sitting there up here by the fuel tanks. Okay, so this fence has been changed out. This chain link is brand new. However, it is in the same, almost the same location as the former fence that you saw in the movie. Here you go. There's one of the old poles in the concrete. Here's the old fence line. Right here, they built it out just a few more feet. There you go, screen used. Right there. That's the old fence post. Okay, just as I thought. I came all the way back here to see if there was a gate back here. It's a smaller gate than the former fence had, but that is where the zombies enter the airport at the end. That's where he lets them in, and they go over to the door and they all go down, all the zombies. That is where the football zombie would have entered, and all the other ones right at the end of the movie. We're gonna walk over there just to show you. Yes, the fence has changed, but that's the location right there in the back corner. All right, so use your imagination. I'm way out, somewhere between here. I've got my camera placed on the fence and the concrete to the right where the helipad is, and out beyond that, the gate. Right between here is where they built the entrance to the missile silo where they went down into the earth. So these zombies would actually be walking that way towards the helicopter. It'd be the reverse angle. You can see the fence line all the way in the back, and also there's several shots you see of a little makeshift graveyard with a lot of Army helmets on it. It would have been right out here, this vicinity here. I'll put a screenshot in the lower right hand corner. I can see one of the grave crosses in this screenshot. That's how I determined it, down there to the lower right. So right out here, every time you see that in Day of the Dead, the makeshift graveyard, it was right here in this vicinity to the right of the former gate where all the zombies came onto the property at the end of the film, right there. Yeah, I want to say it was either right here, there's a gate here now, it was a larger gate, or it was a little more towards this way, more towards the center. It's pretty cool that you have like this 4-foot gap to walk, because the former fence, I've concluded, used to be right here. You see it? You can see where it used to be. Okay, this is about the best angle I can give you to match up some then and now screenshots. The helipad and the long driveway and the gate. Several screenshots gonna place in the screen just to show you. That was filmed right there. Them running up and down the driveway at the end. The zombies coming in about right here. This is where the gate would have been, where he would have let them in. Also, the door would have been about right here, this spot. Actually, you see where the grass is kind of overgrown right there? May have been right there. Actually, I found more out here than I thought I would. That driveway is the same. It's obviously probably been redone a few times, but it's in the same spot. Yeah, so they built like a wood square in the middle of the helipad that they land on. You see wood when they land. Probably like a 12 by 12. And if you look here today, there is like a square in the middle, so they may have just set it right on top of the concrete. So I brought with me the dollar given to me at Charlie's Horror Convention in Sarasota a couple months ago. The football zombie, Michael Tomazzo, the actor who played the football zombie, gave me this dollar. It's him right there in the middle. And he was out here that day as they were filming. And there's that famous scene of them coming across the field. He gave me this $22. That's his number he's wearing in the football jersey. Also, notice how it says, "In Romero we trust." So shout out to Michael Tomazzo. I got an interview with him in that video if you want to check it out. He was actually out here the day that they were filming it, and he was the football player zombie, and he told a cool story about him and Romero shooting that scene out here at this very filming location. So yeah, shout out to Michael, who actually lives in Sarasota. So very cool. Thanks, Michael, for the 22 bucks. There's actually one more spot we have to share. That'll complete the Florida filming locations. George A. Romero's Day of the Dead. One more. It's not too far. Right behind the airport, Bowman's Beach Park. Beach. Pardon our appearance, Hurricane Ian recovery. Dang you, Ian. And it's not the same spot, but somewhere along the Gulf of Mexico, Sanibel and Fort Myers, is where the movie ended. Helicopter landed right on the beach. Not the same spot, but I thought I'd come out to the white sand, you know, for fun, to show you. A lot of folks out here enjoying the holiday weekend. Sun setting out there. Look at this, Gulf of Mexico. All right, folks, Day of the Dead. The filming locations of Florida in the books. Thanks for joining me. Man, that was fun. It took longer than I thought. I spent a lot of time in downtown Fort Myers just trying to find stuff. That's how it goes. I love it though. Can't wait for the next filming locations video. I think I'll end it right here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe below. Come on back if you are a fan of Day of the Dead, George A. Romero, zombies, horror, all of that. Either one, all together. If you like any of those, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for always joining me, guys. Appreciate it. If you'd like to check more of my filming locations videos, if you'd like to see more of those, there is a filming locations playlist on the main page of my YouTube channel. We've done a lot of dead stuff, and we will do some more. There's so many plans I have as far as filming locations, horror, George A. Romero. Man, the opportunities are endless. I simply show what I'm passionate about, and all we need is time. So someday, as I say, watch ahead, we'll get there. All right, and to get here, I got a long drive home. Someone lost an umbrella. Oh, maybe I should help them. Peace out, I'll go help them. All right, got the umbrella back to their owner. Looks like I'm making it out of here just in time. Look at that sky. Ooh, wicked. I've got about a 3-hour journey home, but I had to stop and check this out. Look at this. Nice, beautiful sunset. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Watch ahead.